Hey guys, we're here today doing another VGC Spikemuth Cup Best of 3 against Clutch, who has built yet another new team, just like myself. This is another team I got off of samples, but hopefully you guys enjoy this type of content. And again, if you do, leave a like below and subscribe for more. With that said though, let me of course get my notepad and let's have a good game. Kommo-o is interesting. I know Clutch loves this mon, but I'm not actually sure what it's supposed to be doing in this format. Though, to be fair, I know that a lot of dragons have been popping up. I'm just kind of curious is all. As far as a lead goes, I think I definitely want to lead off with Incineroar. And I think that I definitely want to lead off with Lele. And then from there, I think against this team, I'm definitely going to bring Kartana in the back. And I think I'm going to definitely bring Naga, because I think Naga could be a really good cleaner here. But good luck and fun to my opponent, of course. Yet again, this should be hopefully another really good game. But to be fair, I know that, again, Clutch is definitely a better player in this format than I am. So if I happen to lose this one, honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised. But at the same time, though, I would really love to beat Clutch again. It's been really fun playing Spikemuth Cup in general, and this team has probably been my favorite one I've used. So Metagross Finny lead. Okay, so this is fine. Clutch will have the turn advantage, which is a little bit annoying, but to be fair, he had two mons that could set it. It was pretty likely that at least one of them would come and set the turn advantage. This should still be fine, though, as far as a lead goes, because Incineroar should still be really good for Metagross. Even if I can't intimidate it, it should still be a fairly good lead for this matchup. And I can always switch out Lele into something else. As far as into what, though, I'm not too sure. We did confirm at least the abilities are, in fact, what they should be. I think that what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go for a... I kind of want to go for a Darkest Lariat, because as far as Metagross switch-in, my guess is that Kommo-o is probably going to come in, because it's a really good switch-in to both Fire and Dark, so I at least won't take recoil this way, in case if that does end up happening. And as far as a Lele switching goes, I think I'm going to go just right into Kartana, because I highly doubt that I'm going to get dual targeted this turn. If I do, then good play by Clutch. He definitely got me, but I can't really comfortably go in and Naganadel, because Naganadel would actually get pretty messed up. Okay, so Muddy Water goes off. Fuck. Okay, so then I might get dual target. Well, even if I do take that, there's no way that Metagross actually KOs me, because it's definitely going to go for like a Meteor Mash or something at that point. We do pop our Citrus on Incineroar at the very least, though, which is really good for us, actually, making sure that we can keep it healthy as possible. And then, yeah, we're going to take a Meteor Mash here, but we will still take the Meteor Mash, which is good. And this Darkest Lariat should go off, and it should do a lot of damage to Metagross. So we can hopefully get a good chunk on this, albeit it might be Policy. Please don't be Policy. It's not Policy. Okay, beautiful. With that in mind, what I think I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to switch out hard into... I don't know if I want to switch into Lele just yet, but at the same time, this might be really useful for Incineroar if it's on the field. So I'm actually going to switch Incineroar into Lele here. I'm going to go for a Leaf Blade on the Finny. This will also be pretty helpful, just in case Metagross does a Bullet Punch, which is fairly likely. This will stop it from Bullet Punching me successfully and picking me off before I can get some good damage on Finny. If Finny does switch out here, though, and Clutch does predict my Lele switch by either A, killing Lele, or B, by just not Bullet Punching Kartana and going for another attack, then well played by Clutch. But I don't know if that's necessarily a play that Clutch is going to make. I think more than likely he'll protect on Vinny, if anything. But I don't think he'll necessarily swap it out yet. So he does actually Bullet Punch. Okay. So then I'm really glad I made this play. Definitely ended up rewarding pretty well, because Finny was a fairly annoying mon for my team. Albeit, I did have Naga, but even still, just clearing one of the terrain options that could get in the way of Lele is pretty helpful in my opinion. So we'll certainly take that. I'm probably going to switch Lele back out, no matter what comes in next, into Incineroar. Even if Incineroar does die... Ugh. Okay, Nihilego's in. Alright, then I do actually kind of have to keep this... Wait, no. I don't know if I have to keep this in. I think what I have to do, though, is I have to dual target on the Nihilego slot. I can't really not dual target it, to be honest. Nihilego is kind of a threat to my team, and if I swap out... Okay, fuck. So yeah, Metagross is going to get a free KO here, but I'm kind of fine with that. Because the bigger issue would have been if this was like a Meteor Beam set and it popped that on Incineroar. That could have been very terrifying. Though, to be fair, it could have also been a Scarf set, and that could have also been kind of scary. I don't actually know what Nihilego is running in this format, in all honesty, but it is still a terrifying mod regardless. So we're going to bring back in Incineroar 100% this turn. I think at this point, my play is definitely to go for a Fake Out on Nihilego, just in the off chance that it ends up being a Focus Sash set. I think it's probably going to be Power Herb, but I can't really afford to risk that in case it is a Focus Sash Trick Room set. Oh shit, Psychic Transit. Okay, I'm a little bit stupid. It did not end up being Focus Sash though, so I will take that. But fuck, I feel really stupid right now. Metagross is probably gonna go for an Earthquake here, in all honesty, which is pretty free. It's gonna go for Hammer Arm. Oh, so Clutch doesn't have Earthquake. Okay, well that's good to note though. That's actually really good to note for later. Either way, to be fair, my Incineroar would not have gotten any damage off on the turn. It just makes me look really stupid for attempting to quickly fake out, but it did not actually change anything there. We're gonna go into Naganadel regardless though, and I think I'm gonna dual target Metagross. No, actually I think I'm gonna Flamethrower on the Metagross, and I'm gonna go for a Smart Strike on the Mandy. A couple of reasons behind that. One, I can't really afford to let this... I don't want Metagross to get out of Psychic Terrain. That's a definitive. I cannot let it get out of Psychic Terrain. I also don't want Mana Buzz getting up a Tailwind for it, because that's also fairly terrifying. And my +2 Smart Strike should do a good amount to Mana Buzz if nothing else. So... Metagross is gone at the very least. I'm glad I didn't really go for the dual target play because that could have ended up being very bad for me. Mana Buzz will probably just go for a foul play on Kartana if it does live, and I'm fine with that. Maybe it went for a Tailwind to be fair, but regardless though, that did a lot less than I thought, I'll be honest. Kartana's gone now though, and Naga does get a pretty free Draco here. I do think it's in my best interest to click Draco, in all honesty, because we do have the terrain advantage at the very least. We also know that Mana Buzz is Snarl, which is actually good information because that does affect how I'm going to be playing Naga and maybe even Lele later on. So I'll definitely take that. And this should win us the game. So I'll definitely take the win here. Good game 1 to clutch. I know I kind of fumbled the bag with that fake out on the Psychic Terrain, but otherwise I think I played that pretty well. We got some really good offensive positioning here, and we managed to pull off a win with Naga and Kartana. So... good game 1 to clutch. It was a very close game 1 too. So really, again, one of those games that could have went either way. I'm sure if I didn't get that Metagross roll, I don't actually think I could have won that because Metagross was definitively probably going to be targeting my Naganadel there. Okay, so going into game 2, last time Clutch led off with Finny and Metagross. Very solid lead on Clutch's end. As far as what I want to do, I do want to actually double check. I've been playing so many different Whimsicott teams lately. I want to just double check the moveset. This is Tailwind for sure. Okay, I figured it was Tailwind, but the taunt is more what I was worried about. With Helping Hand as well, I wanted to make sure that I had the right support moves. I've been playing a lot of different Whimsicott teams lately. There's so fucking many Whimsicott sets that are viable. Okay. So I think I'm gonna lead off with Whimsicott actually. I kind of like the idea of leading Whimsicott cart and just trying to snowball that way. It should be a fairly difficult core to deal with, if nothing else. And then I can bring in Incineroar, and once I've gotten the Tailwind up and popped an eject button on Whim, I should be able to snowball with Incineroar. And I think for last mon, let's see, so no Kommo last time. Urshifu would do pretty well against this team, but I can't imagine that, I can't imagine that Kommo doesn't come this time around. Well, no. I can't imagine that Rillaboom doesn't come this time around. So I think I'm going to bring Naga as the last slot. I do think I want to bench Urshifu for now. I really don't actually like the matchup against most of this team, but it is pretty good as a cleaner, if nothing else, for stuff like the Mandy, for example, and for the Metagross as well, depending on what mons come in when. But good luck and fun to clutch, though. Hoping I get my lead right, because I think this is one of those leads that could end up being very bad for me. Bringing Whimsicott in general, I think, might also just end up being very bad for me, but we'll have to see what happens there. We're going to lead off with Kartana and Whimsicott here, and my game plan is definitely just to target that Tapu Fini immediately. And I think with Whimsicott, my play will be to go for a Tailwind, because I do kind of want the speed advantage for later on, especially after getting a check buttoned. So we're going to go for that. My guess is that I'm going to get Bullet Punch by Metagross, though maybe Clutch will probably target the Whimsicott regardless. I don't know with what move, though. But either way, it should be good for us. So he's going to switch out here into Mana Buzz. Perfectly fine by me, actually. Maybe he's going to go for Hammer Arm on Metagross. We do know that Mana Buzz is now Misty Seed. I feel like that should have been kind of obvious with Finny Mandy. Especially as someone who's, like, I've played a lot of VGC 2017, actually. That was one of my first formats I really wanted to compete in. And that core is ran all the time. And I'm kind of shocked I didn't pick up that Clutch would be running that. Regardless, though, we did pop our Tailwind, which is really good for us. And I can just go right into Incineroar now. And I can get a ton of damage off and take out the Metagross, which is a pretty big threat to my team. So we're going to go into the Incineroar here. And what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to fake out the Mana Buzz, mostly just so it doesn't get up a Tailwind of its own, because that could end up being pretty bad for us. And then what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go for a Sacred Sword on the Metagross, because that should still get us a really good damage set in general on the Metagross. And if Metagross does Hammer Arm and KO my Kartana, I think I'm fine with that, in all honesty. because at that point I could bring in Naganadel, and I think Naganadel and Incineroar could probably clean the team that's come here, unless if... I mean, I think it would literally have to come down to Nihilego, I guess. Nihilego could really be the only thing I think that would actually pose a threat to that duo, but even still, I don't think it'll be a huge deal. So we get a crit there. I don't think it'll matter a ton in all honesty, because we'll outpace with Incineroar next turn and be able to KO, so I should still be fine. We do see the last move is then Headbutt. Clutch was probably predicting a double. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz on Metagross, and I'm going to go for a Smart Strike on the Mandibuzz. I don't think I really need to click or Protect at this point. I'll outpace everything, and it's really just about getting off damage before any sort of support moves go off. So now that I've gotten Metagross into a range I feel comfortable with the KO, Clutch would basically have to protect this turn on it, which I think it might be Assault Vest. Just seeing that it is 4 attacks, I feel like it's probably Assault Vest. We do get another crit with Kartana, which is kind of funny. This isn't a Scope Lens Mon, but it's critting like one. And we do take out Metagross, which is great because, again, huge offensive threat here, and it's completely gone. Mandibuzz does, in fact, go for the Tailwind, so that'll potentially matter, especially if Finny comes in. And the reason I say especially if Finny comes in is because that would be enough turns to stall out my Tailwind. Okay, so Clutch is instead going to bring in Kommo-o. At this point, I think I'm just going to take out the Mandibuzz with Incineroar, and I think I'm going to go for a Smart Strike on the Kommo-o and just try and get off as much damage with this as possible. If Clutch goes for a Protect this turn, that could end up actually being really bad, because I'm kind of hoping that Clutch will KO one of my Pokemon here, so I can bring in Naganadel more freely. But we'll have to see what happens. That does, like, no damage. Oh my god, it's Iron Defense. Oh, fuck, it's gonna go for Body Press. Oh, okay, that'll be really annoying. I'm gonna have to keep track of Tailwind turns for sure, because otherwise I could be kind of screwed with that. Kartana does end up dying here, but Mandibuzz should as well, so I think I'm okay with that. Especially because I can definitely... Well, here comes the hard part. I definitely need to be careful. Oh, wait. No, I don't actually need to worry that much, because it should be Finny and Kommo last month. And this is Leftovers Kommo? Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. As long as I hit my Draco, I should actually be fine. Oh, wait, no. Fuck. Because this outpaces me. That's actually very bad now. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. What I think I'm going to do... I think Kommo might win this game. I'm almost certain that actually. They still have 3 more turns to Tailwind. I think I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz just because it's stronger on the top of Finny. And I'm going to go for a Draco on the Kommo-o, and I'm going to kind of hope that this is either some really bulky Kommo-o and it's really slow, or that it has, like, no way to damage me. So Moonblast goes off, nearly guarantees the KO. That might still be a loss anyway, even without the special attack drop. That's probably enough, just considering the fact that... Okay, well, even then Incineroar did die, so... I'm going to say my life will take me out, and even Incineroar... Even if Naga took out Kommo-o there, I would still have, like, no way for Incineroar to 1v1 Finny at this point, because Finny's just way too damn defensive. Also, Misty Terrain does help a lot with that Kommo-o. I forgot about that interaction. I always forget about that interaction. But good game to Clutch, for sure. Game 2 went a lot more in his favor. Okay, so seeing as last time Clutch led off with the same lead, I think I'm not going to try and lead off with Whimsicott this time around. I should probably be trying to out-offense Clutch. I think it's my best case. I think I'm definitely going to need Lele for sure. But I don't want to lead it. I think I'm going to bench Naganadel. No, because Naganadel is actually pretty useful here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to lead off with Incineroar Kartana. I think Incineroar Kartana should be a really solid lead in general here. Because I can target the Tapu Fini with Kartana and Leaf Blade it and try and take it out if it does stay in. And then I can go for a Flare Blitz into a Lariat with Incineroar. And also I can just Smart Strike next turn. I'm going to bring Lele in the back for sure. And I think that last one, I'm going to bring... I kind of like the idea of bringing Urshifu Rapid, in all honesty. I know I was saying that I probably wasn't going to, but actually, no, I'm definitely going to bring Whimsicott, but I'm going to bring it in the back. Having this for Moonblast or just general support could be really good late game, but I don't think I need to lead with it. I think that leading with it last time actually was where my mistake was, in all honesty. Good luck and fun to Clutch, though. We'll see what happens with this game. I'm hoping for the good result, but I genuinely do not know, in all honesty. Clutch's team is definitely pretty scary, especially that Kommo-o. Again, I know he loves this mon, so I'm sure that he had a field day when he realized he could make this work. Might need to steal his team from him if I end up playing someone that's not Clutch. I'm not gonna lie, because it's a very fun team. I'll see if he can trade it to me after. Regardless, though, he does lead off with yet again the same duo. Perfectly fine. It's worked for him in the last game. I don't know why he would change that now. Regardless, though, Incineroar should be able to, as I said, target pretty freely into the Metagross slot. And I think that my play is definitely to go for a Flare Blitz here. Because if I get that Flare Blitz off, that should be in range of a Smart Strike later on. And I'm going to Leaf Blade into the Finny slot. If Finny does double into Mana Buzz again, so be it. I don't really care, in all honesty. Because I do have Lele in the back, and Lele would be a great switch-in for my Incineroar to make while I KO Metagross with Kartana. So Finny's going to withdraw again, perfectly fine. We're going to see Kommo-o come out this time, though. That one's also interesting, but again, I think that my play is still the same to go hard into Whimsicott. And meanwhile, Clutch is revealing his entire set. Perfectly fine with this. I'm actually going for the Mandibuzz with physical attack from Incineroar, so that should be pretty good at least. Thankfully, I didn't try and target this with some special move. I think Kartana will actually be the one I switch out now. I think I'm going to keep Incineroar in, and I'm going to go for probably a... I think I'm going to probably go for a Parting Shot on the Kommo-o, in all honesty. So, we do see the Misty Seed pop, obviously, on Mandibuzz. We also see the leftovers go off. Perfectly fine. I'm going to go for a Parting Shot on the Kommo-o, though. And I'm going to go hard out from Kartana into Tapu Lele here. If Mandibuzz gets a Tailwind off this turn, so be it. Kommo-o, I don't think it's going to have a way to really harm my Lele that much. And plus, with the Parting Shot, I'm going to bring in Whimsicott next turn as a security blanket, so I can go for a Tailwind into a Fairy move. No matter what, Clutch does have to deal with the 50-50 of potentially getting my call wrong of what Pokemon I attack, because either one of these would not appreciate taking a Moonblast. Obviously, Mandy would a bit more, but I think I'm going to target the Mandibuzz, actually, because I do think that Kommo-o will probably be the swap here. So we see the Body Press go off. It's perfectly fine by me. Yeah, Mandibuzz gets a Tailwind, and then I'm going to Parting Shot the Kommo-o slot, so that should drop its attack in case it does have coverage. Oh, fuck. Soundproof doesn't work like that. Okay. So we know it's Soundproof at the very least now. Though, to be fair, I'm sure Soundproof is probably the better ability on this. Didn't realize that it... Though, Parting Shot... Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We're going to Parting Shot in the Mandibuzz slot now. And I think I'm going to go for a... kind of want to go for a Dazzling Gleam. I feel like that should still be really good against Kommo-o. I can't imagine this wouldn't KO. And it should still at least help a little bit with easing the 50-50 potential. So we're going to see Kommo-o hard swap out into Tapu Finny here. Perfectly fine by me. Mandy will get a good turn to go for a Snarl on me, which is perfectly fine. In all honesty, I can swap out Lele into something else. Probably the Incineroar, in all honesty. And get this back in later on to change up my moves. And also to reset my special attack drop. So I think I'm okay with that. I think with the... Let's see, with the Incineroar slot, I'm going to bring in Kartana, I think, this turn. I don't really care about going for... Yeah, I don't really care about going for the... Well, no, I definitely need to go for a Tailwind here. Because Finny's going to otherwise go for Muddy Water into a Snarl. And that should do a lot of damage to Kartana anyway. So I'm going to go into Whimsicott here. And I'm going to go for... I think I'm going to go for a Tailwind here. And then I'm going to bring Incineroar... No, I'm going to just go for another Dazzling Gleam in all honesty. Yeah, I'll go for Tailwind. And I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. Because when the eject button pops on the Whimsicott, I can utilize that and bring in Kartana that way. Because I'll pace Finny now. And at that point, I've already gotten enough chip to where my opponent does actually kind of have to predict around when I'll attack with Kartana. Since either Mon could end up being taken out, and that could be very bad for Clutch, potentially. So, I think that's what I will utilize. Thankfully, the Finny ended up targeting Whimsicott, though, and it does pop our eject button a little bit sooner. However, this does mean a broken Sash for Kartana, but I think I am willing to live with that, in all honesty. I don't really mind the broken Sash here, and yeah, I could still I could still, I think I'm probably going to go for a Leaf Blade. Yeah, I'm going to definitely go for a Leaf Blade here. Especially since Mandibuzz only went for a Roost this turn, which I know it's like a little bit annoying, but it's not too bad. So we're going to go for a Leaf Blade into that slot, and I'm going to go for another Dazzling Gleam. Even with the special attack drop, I think that Metagross kind of has to come in, which I'm honestly fine with. I can bring in Incineroar afterwards, and I can go for a Protect on Kartana, which I have not actually revealed yet. And that should help me get Incineroar in a little bit quicker, while also making sure that Mandibuzz can't... well, it'll need to go for a Tailwind on the following turn. Because Tailwind should run out after I make my swap. Which should give me a good speed advantage, if nothing else. And that should help out a lot in general with taking out Metagross, which has been a pretty big threat to my team as a whole. So we'll hard swap out Lele into... Oh, their Tailwind petered out now. Okay, that's a little bit worse. But I think I'm still going to manage. I'm going to go for a Protect here. Actually, no, I'm going to gonna hard swap out into Incineroar. Nope, no, because I need to make it a different mon. I'm gonna go for a Sacred Sword actually on the Metagross slot. And I'm gonna go into Incineroar, because I do 100% need to wait to switch out my Lele. To not switch out my Lele, to switch out my Cortana. Because if I swapped out Cortana into Incineroar, I'm taking a Hammer Arm either way, and it's gonna do a fuck ton of damage as we saw earlier. Because no matter what, the target into that slot would be a fighting type move. So I think this is still in my best interest in all honesty. And Sacred Sword should still get off a good chunk, and Metagross or nothing else. Mandibuzz is gonna get a Tailwind up here, that's perfectly fine. I think that what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go for a Darkest Lariat on the... Okay, Cortana's dead, that's fine. Metagross being in this slot though is actually pretty good for me. Because what I could do now, I can bring in the Whimsicott. And my goal is to actually let Whimsicott go down here. Because if my opponent does target Whimsicott thinking that I have a support Pokemon that's really good here, that's really good for me. I'm going to go for a Taunt on the Mandibuzz. Well, no, I can't go for Taunt, it's Prankster Dark type. I'm going to go for a Moonblast on the Mandibuzz. And I'm going to go for a Darkest Lariat to take out the Metagross. Because by killing the Metagross, that should open up Lele a lot more, and my opponent losing their Fairy is just pretty big. I could just click Moonblast instead of clicking Dazzling Gleam, and that's really advantageous for me later on. So I think I'm going to do that, and then hopefully Metagross will just go for like a Bullet Punch or just something to take out. Yeah, it's going to go for the Bullet Punch and take out my Whimsicott. So I'm fine with this. I don't mind Whimsicott going down. That wasn't really the piece of this that was important. It was killing the Metagross. So the Metagross being down now is really huge for us. So we know for a fact that Metagross will go down now. And Lele can just click Moonblast while I Flare Blitz the Mandibuzz, which is also, again, really valuable. Vinny's taking a ton of damage at this point. And on top of that as well, no, I definitely can't go for a second move. I was contemplating if I can click a psychic move or not, but I do need to make sure that I'm clicking a fairy move since Lele is my last mon around. Which is a little unfortunate, but to be fair, with no Nihilego there, that's honestly fine by me. So it is 3 mons left. It is Kommo-o, Tapu Fini, and Mandibuzz. No matter what comes in, I should be guaranteed fine. Because either way, again, I just click Moonblast. And I think I just click Moonblast into that move slot, actually. Into that Kommo-o slot. Because either way, Mandibuzz is not an actual threat to my team. It has Roost, Tailwind, and Snarl. It'll do okay, but it's never going to be an actual long-term threat. I'm much more scared of the Kommo-o, potentially. I definitely need to Flare Blitz into the Mandibuzz slot. Kommo-o does sadly get a free Body Press off here. It went for a Protect, actually. Okay, I think I'm fine with that. It's stalling out their own Tailwind, which also works for me. I know that, to be fair, this does mean that, I get Snarled, which is a little unfortunate. But we also see that we outpace Mandibuzz, so I'm actually fine with... Whatever, we knew we outpaced Mandibuzz, what am I saying? Well, I'm hoping that we can outpace Kommo-o at the very least, because that will be a little bit of an important piece of this, making sure we don't take, like, an Iron Head or something like that. Flare Blitz is doing a good amount of damage, actually, which is also, again, really useful, since if I can outpace the Kommo-o, it can get a really good chunk of damage off with Moonblast. To be fair, Clutch is probably trying to just weaken my special attack, so it is obnoxious for me to kill Kommo-o or Tapu Fini, which could actually be really bad for me late game, but there's always a crit chance, and that's kind of what I need to bank on at this point. Also, Finny's taken a good amount of damage anyway from the other Gleams, so there's still a chance I could just take it out outright. So thankfully Kommo-o goes down. That is an important piece of this, is making sure that Kommo-o goes down. And on top of that as well, I believe that Tailwind runs out next turn, which is also huge for me, because with the Moonblast plus Flare Blitz tandem, I could take out Mandibuzz. Well, no, I think I need to target Finny either way. To be fair, yeah, Mandibuzz can just go for the Roost spam, and that is a little bit annoying. But at the same time, though, eventually it will get taken out. Their Tailwind petered out. Okay, perfect. So I need to figure out how low Finny is, because I do forget. I'm pretty sure it's at 60. Yeah, that's like roughly 60. What I think I need to do, I think I just need to Moonblast Finny. I need to hope for a crit. If I don't crit the Finny, I do think I lose, though I think there's a chance that I could still always just fish for crit on Mandy, because unless it's Finny's Citrus, I should be fine to take it out. If it's Citrus, I think Clutch just won, but there wasn't really much I think I could have done about that the second that I let Cortana go down. So it's going to be kind of something that I think will just determine based on how much I do here. Finny does not seem to be Citrus, and it seems to have actually gone for a Moonblast here. If this KOs, yeah, this KOs. Okay. So then I think I've just lost anyway. I wonder if this is Specs. I know it's like kind of a wild thing to predict, but I wonder if this is Specs, because this is only clicked offensive moves. As far as I'm aware, and maybe I just missed it and I'm forgetting, but I don't believe this is actually clicked a single move like a Protect, a Calm Mind, or anything like that, and it didn't pop a Citrus. I know that Specs Finny was like a kind of pseudo niche thing in 2017, and Clutch's team does kind of give me 2017 VGC vibes, barring the Rillaboom, of course. I'm almost curious if this is a Specs Finny. It would kind of explain the logic in Clutch's plays, I think, especially just spamming Muddy Water, but I don't entirely know, and I can't say with certainty. I think, though, the fact that Clutch is going for a Moonblast here instead of a Muddy Water does kind of reveal to me that this was, in fact, a Specs Finny. Which is pretty cool bring, actually. It's something you don't really see a lot in PGC, especially these days. So, really cool blast from the past, or nothing else from Clutch's end. But I do think I objectively just lose here. Finny does just claim the KO next turn, even if I don't just die to recoil here. So, very good game to Clutch. This is a much better series than the last one. Despite how much I enjoyed the last series, I think this one was even better. So I'm really glad to follow this up. Well, to follow up our first game with this. If you guys did enjoy, of course, leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. Love putting out these type of videos for you guys. And if you guys want to battle me, make sure to click on the link in the Discord and just let me know that you're looking for a battle. To be fair, when this video does go live, I'll probably be on vacation at this point because I'm bulk recording for over a week in advance since I'm going to be gone for like a week and a half. So I'll probably battle when I'm back from vacation if anyone is interested. Regardless, though, thank you to our channel members being Josh, aka Ultra Player, Zeke0, and Mia. You guys go the extra mile and it really does mean a lot. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out, guys.